We're celebrating Black History Month.
Uh-huh.
How do you think your story fits with the larger historical narrative of Black survival and success?
Yeah, well, I think a lot of the things that, Black people have had a storied history in the world. And as a result, being born with this is a blessing and a curse. And the story includes colonialization, fetishization, all kinds of depravity, but somehow thriving and being joyful and overcoming anyway. And I feel all of that is in the book. And historically, in order for me to understand myself, like wearing the jackets, right? So I need to understand me. That's why I start writing the book. But then I realized I can't understand me unless I understand my parents. Obviously, right? Because whether they were good or bad parents, whether they were present or not present, they shaped who you are. And then I realized I couldn't understand them until I understand their parents and who were they when they were children. Because basically we just parent the way we were parented generally, right? And then I said, but wait, why were all these West African and East Indian people on a Caribbean island just off of South America anyway? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I had to understand the history of the island to tell my own story. And when I understand that, what I realized was that's the history of everyone. That's the history of everywhere. Right? Even, Irish people, I'm going to Dublin in June to read and talk about the book. And you study the history of Ireland, and they were colonized and invaded, and their languages were stamped out, and they had to fight for it. So I think my story is the story of all of us. And in the time we live in, history is under attack, right? The truth is under attack. People are literally just making stuff up and saying this is true. People are literally doing Hitler salutes in front of thousands of people, as if that doesn't mean something in history. And so, in times like these, the power that we have is our memory, right? The power I have in my life is that I sat down and I remembered and I wrote it down. And I think all of us as human beings in times like these, we need to tell our story, all of us. And we need to talk to older folks and get them to tell us our story, right? And we need to share that story. And that's what it's about. That's what this building is built on, is people sharing their stories. That is where our power is. And I realized, I'm not running for office. Anybody here running for office? Okay. I met like 6 politicians today. I don't know what's going on in Cambridge. Yeah, I know. Nobody up here. So I don't want to get too political, but I think the thing is this. There are lots of reasons to feel negative and feel like, oh, there's no hope. But I don't buy that. Because I come, and a lot of us come from a line of people who have seen way worse than what is happening here right now. And the only way we do not triumph is if we lose hope. So I prefer to see the opportunity that it affords us to reconnect with our community. We thought, everybody used to think, oh, America's going to be there forever. America's suddenly like, we're going to invade and take it. So suddenly, people are like, oh, I really wish we had a local newspaper. Right? All these things we didn't value, we suddenly, oh man, maybe the CDC isn't so bad. Right? So that's the opportunity. The opportunity is connect back with what's really important, because it's easy to not, when everything's good, it's easy to forget what's really important. And so that's what I would say, is that we have a tremendous opportunity to reconnect with our stories, reconnect with who we are, reconnect with our community, stop looking to the internet and Silicon Valley to save us. The people that are going to save us are right here in this community. And that is the silver lining. I don't see it as a negative at all. I see all of that as very positive. Thank you for challenging us and reminding us who we are.